Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, April 7th. We're calling the meeting to order for the Downtown Estacada Commission meeting. It is 9 a.m. Want to do roll call?
Commissioner Smith,
You're on mute, Hannah.
Here.
thank you. Commissioner Cooper,
Oh, here. Sorry, I said yes.
Commissioner Eisenberger,
Here.
Commissioner Redmond.
Here.
Chair Fox Hames,
Here.
Youth Corbin,
Here.
and then Commissioner Colton. I
should
see
be-
her online. I just promoted her, so she will hopefully
Yeah, she should be online.
jump in. Commissioner Colton, can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Yep.
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
Here.
And then Commissioner Randall looks like she is absent.
Okay. Awesome. Do we have any public comments?
We do have someone online.
Excellent. Welcome. Could you please state your name?
Yes. Can you hear me? This is Bev Nordstrom.
Hi, Bev. Good morning. We
Good
can
morning.
definitely hear you.
Oh, good. I'm here to, if there's time for public comments, I'd have something I'd like to share. So,
Yes, please do.
okay, well, let me know when.
You're good to go.
Oh, now, okay. Well, I'm officially with the Arts Commission here in Estacada, and I wanted to present something that I've shared with other commissions about having a birthday party for Estacada. It is our 120th birthday. We haven't celebrated our founding since 1955. And so what I'm proposing to the other commissions, and I wanted to run by DEC, is having a focus this summer, specifically a presence at the parade for our 120-year anniversary for Estacada. And to see, let you know about that. And other commissions are considering different ways to partner with an emphasis on the Founders Day celebration. So there is a packet, and I'm going to see if Alex or someone can get you the packet that.
If it's the one that you presented at the Arts Commission meeting, I just gave one to Sherry.
Oh, good. Thank you so much. So I am pulling together kind of a ad hoc separate community committee, and we are sharing ideas and participation levels, knowing that it's just the beginning, our first effort in a long time. And such as like living history actors to roam the couple blocks on Broadway, sharing about our beginnings, a time capsule where I've met with Melanie Wagner that will be placed on the property around City Hall that will reflect what students and families think Estacada will look like 50 years from now. And a float, possibly. And there's other things. I'm working with other, like with Philip Foster Farm, and they will be hosting a fashion show from 1905. We're trying to get some antique cars. Can't find them from 1905, but closer to 1920. So there's a variety of efforts going on here. What I'm looking for, my purpose today, is there is a grant put out by the Clackamas Cultural Coalition that really heavily focuses on historic emphasis for an area in helping to bring together all the different citizens and people who've moved to this area. And so that is due April 17th. And I've been working on that grant, and I'm number one looking for a strong letter of agreement, participation, support for gathering different community efforts towards the Founders Day, which will be held in and around July 4th. I think parks, we're looking at possibly having our original dance that we had in Estacada called Rags in Hard Times to wrap around one of their music venues in the park. So it won't be on July 4th, but in and around that time. So there's a variety of things that we'd like to bring the community together on common ground. A lot of the issues that they had in 1905 are the same issues that we're having now. For example, it was a big to-do. They had 40 students, and because of the unprecedented growth to Estacada, they thought their population of students would double. And they would like to grow from a one-room schoolhouse to a four-room schoolhouse. And they were wrestling with how do we do that and how do we get the community to support it. So in speaking with Philip Foster Farm, we're thinking about even pulling together a sample one-room schoolhouse on July 4th and to let people know that there was a way through growth issues and a positive forum where everyone could state their concerns but find a way forward.
So Bev, just to kind of, what I'm hearing that you're saying is you need some buy-in from DEC. You're looking for a letter from us.
Yes. And I would be very
support the
willing to
grant.
send you a sample letter.
Okay.
to-
And then, okay, and that's just to support the grant that you're requesting.
Yes. And
Okay.
number two, I would absolutely be overjoyed to have you participate in some way during the Founders Day. Whether
Okay, and you're wanting to do that coincide with the 4th of July parade?
I think it would be appropriate then if that's at all possible.
Okay, and in looking at your, proposal here, it says for the DEC, promote the actor-citizen participation in living history, make available scripts, costumes. This could be a fundraiser table, $10 donation, and paying participant could be mayor, constable, newspaper editor. Are you wanting somebody from the DEC to man this table and take in money?
No, that was just an idea. Right now, what we're talking about is I'll write the scripts, and for people who want to volunteer to be living history actors, I'll work with them and take responsibility and oversight. And it was just an idea of how possibly DEC could participate. And even just letting us be in your parade and a covering for that would be amazing.
Well, we have no problem with you participating in our parade, but as far as any of us assisting you in your efforts, we are pretty stretched thin. We are either all already have taken on assignments for other like traffic control, registration. I mean, we are all already, we have assignments for the actual parade itself. So we unfortunately would not be able to assist you in in what you want to do, but you are more than happy to participate. Now, my only thing is you would probably have to fill out a registration form
Okay.
like everybody else would, and there is a timeline on that, and there is a fee for that. So that would need to happen. But as far as, promoting and you participating, not an issue at all. Not an
All right.
issue.
And that would be great. That
Okay.
level of participation would be just, it's fine, because I know your hands are full, your plate's overflowing with scheduling everything on the 4th of July. So no, that's absolutely perfect. And I will send you a sample letter of support.
Perfect.
And that would be wonderful.
Yeah, we'd love, I'll get that over to us as soon as possible. It looks like you've got a deadline pretty closely here do. So we'll get that over to you as soon as possible.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much.
Bev, I have a question. This is Connie. 4th of July is on Friday. So are you hoping to do it on the same day or maybe pull people into the weekend on Saturday? What are your thoughts? Because right
Um,
now downtown is really, really crowded on the 4th. And I don't
Good.
know,
Yeah, I think right now, the location of like the one room schoolhouse, which is just going to be an open air, and some of the festivities that we have can be elsewhere in downtown. It depends on where we get something available. To have it flow over into other days is perfect. So I'm putting together activities that would be from minimal to moderate involvement depending on, because we have such a short time frame here. So I see the living history actors just introducing themselves and being part of the downtown celebration that happening. Uh, the time capsule and burying it probably will not happen that weekend, but later on and probably a month from then, so we can get contributions. Now, for example, Art Smith said they would help with like the coloring sheets or a short paragraph of what people want to see on like a 4x4, 6x6 sheet of paper that will go in the time capsule. So that will be installed in the ground later, but collections for that or information about that can happen on the 4th.
so Harvest Market Square is usually available on the 4th. That might be a good place to set up and do some advertising and some promoting and doing something there. That's just a thought.
I think that's an excellent idea. I was kind of considering the same thing. That would be a great place even to have the fashion show. If we can make it happen. Philip Foster Farm thought that could happen on the 4th.
If you need some help contacting Harvest Market, I'd be more than happy to help you with that.
I would love that.
Okay,
And Jerry has all my direct contact information. So
okay.
thank you.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Bev, for contacting us today and offering everything up.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Do we have any other public comments? Great. All right. Did everybody get an opportunity to review the February and March minutes? And do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the February 24th and March 3rd minutes as written.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
All those opposed? All right, passes. All righty, Ms. Smith. Content for April newspaper, social media, and newsletter.
Yep, so we don't have, oh, thank you, sis. I plan on doing as much as I can for Uncorked. I just need more info. I can reach out to Heather unless anybody else has info. But that's kind of what is, where are we at, April 7th? So we have a month and a half. So heavy on Uncorked and then 4th of July. Do we know when we're going to have the 4th of July application ready?
It's ready now. It just up to when you want to post it and start receiving.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let's talk
Okay.
afterwards. Definitely by the 1st of May. Hate to get it too far out there because it's too far out, but 1st of May.
Okay, Jerry has something to say. Hannah?
So we're having some troubles getting people to sign up to apply for the city commissions. Is there a way that you can maybe add city commissions looking, still looking for applicants to your newsletter?
Totes, absolutely.
Okay.
So city commission seats
Yeah.
or not city council, city commissions, yeah. Are
The other commissions, yeah.
Yeah, are there any specific or just all?
Melanie, do you know if there are anything, are we just looking to fill seats in just about every commission, or is it? So I know arts is down to 5 people with only 1 new applicant. I think parks is down to 5 people. And we can go up to 9. But
Okay.
right now, I know those two commissions are at the minimum. It's 5 to 9. So they can hardly form a subcommittee because
Right.
the quorum for those commissions is 3.
Yeah.
So yeah, just, I know Parks and Arts are hurting for, applicants, so.
Jerry,
Okay.
do those applicants have to be within the city, or do they, like this commission, we can have some that are outside the city
Same,
Same,
criteria?
yeah,
criteria.
school
So,
district and city limits.
Okay.
and the 5 to 9 people, passed. So
Yes,
that's current. Okay.
yes.
I can write those details. So arts and parks and, yes, I can absolutely post, so, do we have deadlines for any of those or is it just? Cause we're in
No, there's no deadline at this point.
we're in, where are we? April. Okay. All right. And then applications can be found online.
Yes, on the city website.
Hannah, I also just used the last of the first Friday images.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to keep doing that or just post it without images.
Sure. Yeah, I can see what I have.
Okay.
But don't be shy on reusing them.
Okay.
I think it's just to kind of let people know.
Yeah.
So city website. All right. So that's what my thoughts were. I will add the commission seats that are open. Uncorked is kind of heavy, but I just need more information. Does anybody know any details about Uncorked, or are we going to talk about that in a little bit?
Well, we don't have Heather today yet.
Yeah.
I have some updates about the application. I can share that now or we can share it
Let's
during
do
the
it.
uncorked.
Yeah, let's do it when we get to Uncorked.
Okay.
Hopefully she can join by then.
Sorry.
Anything else?
No, social media, that is kind of it. And then, oh, sorry. Okay, so do we know if applications for Uncorked have been sent out?
No,
They haven't.
they have not.
Okay, but it's ready, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Where is it? Okay. All right, so I guess my focus would be obviously Uncorked first and getting those applications out, and then we'll maybe push 4th of July, early next month. That's all I got.
Okay. All right, moving on to the next item, Committee 101.
Yes, we have a short video for you all to watch. And those online, let me know if you can hear the audio.
Can you turn it up in the room? Oh, thank you.
The boards are appointed by the city council authority, and the functions are delegated. The city code outlines your function, and no board can expend funds or obligate the city. You have a council liaison, and you report quarterly to the council, and you elect the chair and vice chair from the first meeting, which is generally the general expectations are you will read the packet prior to the meeting, arrive to meetings on time, if you're going to be absent, notify staff, and if you no longer have the capacity to serve on this board, just resign so someone else can. Your suggested annual timeline. In January, it's a great idea to discuss budget planning for the next year. In February, you'll use this project plan and include it in to develop a budget. And in March, you should approve both the budget plan and the budget. You will also review any new applicants for your board to make a recommendation to the city council. In April, you will present your project plan and budget to the city council, and you will also receive this training and an additional state required training. In November or December, it's a great idea to do a year-end review. Go over your programs and events and think which ones you want to add to next year's, but there's things you need to add. You have roles and responsibilities. In each year, you shall select the chair and vice chair. The chair presides over the meetings and is responsible for communications with the city council and your staff. The chair works with staff prior to the meeting to help determine the agenda. The chair works to keep the committee on track to complete their projects for the year. And they run the meetings, keeping it on agenda and managing interactions with the public. The vice chair or co-chair puts on the duties of the chair in the chair's absence. Your committee has a staff support person. They're responsible for managing the meeting, at the meeting, helping create and post the meeting through and packet. And they may also assist with creating minutes or doing background research. However, any specific tasks for staff must be assigned by their superior, and the direct program support is only available if the city has budget and capacity. All committees and commissions are advisory boards and as considered public bodies under Oregon law. So you have to comply with open meeting laws, which means you must provide notice for all meetings. Meetings must be open to the public, including a virtual option, which we use Zoom, and minutes must be created digitally. The quorum is a majority of members, and a meeting is defined as any time there is a quorum of members who deliberate on important issues. This is true even in social settings or in digital communications. So you need to be careful if you're meeting at an event or if you're emailing that you do not have a quorum of members to prevent a public issue. If you have meetings scheduled and you don't have a quorum show up, you need to reschedule that meeting. Decisions can't be made without a quorum. And work groups, if you set up a group such as an event planning committee, they cannot have a quorum. This is a great idea to draw in additional volunteers to assist to prevent having a quorum. And eventually those additional volunteers might want to serve on the committee. All meetings, except for emergencies, should have at least 72 hours notice. Our meetings are broadcast via Zoom and recorded for later viewing. We post them on YouTube. Be careful with email and other communications. As I said earlier, that could be considered a public meeting. Public records of any writing in any form which is related to the business of the board. This includes email, text message, and social media posts. Social media posts that are regarding the official business of the board, not your personal posts. But even if it's on your personal social media, if you're talking about the business of the board, that can be open to a public records request. Committee members and commissioners as public officials must act in accordance with Oregon's ethics laws. This prohibits you from gaining financially or preventing financial loss as a result of your position. And it's not just you, it is the finances of you, a family member, your business, or a family member's business. If there is a potential conflict or an actual conflict, you must declare that. A potential conflict is something that could be a financial benefit or prevent financial harm, but it isn't necessary. In this example, you own property that might be impacted by a change in zoning, but your property is not for sale. This is a potential conflict. You still need to announce the conflict, but you can participate in discussion and vote. An actual conflict is that same property is currently for sale, and changing zoning regulations would increase the value of your property or allow for development. This has an actual financial impact on you. And so at this point, you would need to announce publicly before discussion and abstain or not be included in any discussion or vote on that issue. And remember, you are appointed to this position to represent the public. So all of your fellow members are also, which never brings an important point of view, and many points of view produce good policy. You have a code of conduct, which you will need to sign last page and return it to your staff member. I like to think this is the things you learned in kindergarten. Right, and being kind, and treating people with respect. If you have any questions at all, you can contact your staff member and you'll get back to you. Thank you for your volunteering for the National Investigative Commission. We appreciate your service.
Thank you, Elena.
And then you all have the code of conduct. Just sign that last page and return it to me. Those of you online, I can send you a digital copy.
All righty. I guess we have to appoint a new chair and a vice chair.
Okay,
Are there any takers that want to be chair or vice chair at this point? Don't everybody
Should-
speak up
should-
at once.
should I nominate?
We're finding out if there's anybody that wants to take on the responsibility
Willing victims
first.
first.
No takers? Julie Colton?
I appreciate it, but no, I'll have to pass at this time. Thank you very much.
Okay, now we can take nominations. I nominate Connie Redmond as vice chair.
I second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Any of those opposed?
Okay, I nominate Sherry as chair. I appreciate her focus. She keeps us on track. She has a good relationship with the council and you're doing a great job. So I nominate Sherry.
What's the date today?
Second,
Second.
all those in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, I'll get the check in the mail to all of you later.
And I
So,
want to just note for the record, Heather's online now.
Okay.
Thanks for
So-
joining, Heather.
I'd like to say that, while we're in this, discussion, we did change the, number of members from, 7 to 5 to 9. So I know you guys had a really good applicant that you liked a lot, but you filled your seats. So if you want to invite that person back and see if they're still interested, or get in contact with that person and see if they're still interested, it would be a good, time for that.
They're
Hey.
going to be in their next council packet to appoint them.
Yeah,
Because you got 30 days after the council approves it before it goes into effect. So
we already moved forward on that.
Oh, good. Thank you.
But with the help of John.
I wasn't sure if my email, after looking at this ethics, violated that code because I was right, but I didn't hit the quorum. I included 3 people. But in the future, I'll realize I didn't. That's good you guys presented that because my email actually kind of did.
No, you were right. You were right, because had you emailed everybody, then we would have needed to make it public. So you were fine in what you did. You
Okay.
only want to do email to 3 people,
Yeah.
and then we can do
I
it.
don't count towards your quorum.
Okay.
So, yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
Good time.
It was just Sherry, and I think you might have copied the DEC's email, but it was just Sherry, you and I on
Okay.
that, so
Yeah.
you were fine.
Thank you.
We were good. Awesome. Okay, well, that was easy. All right, so wayfinding signage. This was very interesting.
Yes.
So Melanie's coming up and I will pull up her.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good
and
morning.
Thank you for taking time to take a look at this and give me some feedback. So I can't remember what the year was, but it's been quite a while that there was some wayfinding signage, and you'll see it over by the Subway building, right here on the corner of Broadway by the dentist's office, points you to a video store, things like that that no longer exist. But they were great and they've lasted really well. And we have wanted to do some more wayfinding signage. And then in talking with John Lagarza, who's our economic development contract person in healthy sustainable communities, he is like, well, we really should do a whole plan, because I kind of just like to jump in and let's put up some signs. And so he's like, you should probably plan this out a little bit better. So he's helping us do that. I had reached out probably a year ago to Parks and Rec, because my initial thought was, let's put some wayfinding signages. When you see like I think Oregon City has some, I've seen them in Portland where they have a little person walking and it says, this is how many minutes it takes to get wherever, or a bicycle image. And then this is how many minutes if you're biking. And I'd kind of pictured those around town between parks, library, city hall, things like that. So they had given me some feedback. Like I was thinking just downtown, and they kind of said, look, what about, other parks too? So what I have here is like an initial proposal. We're getting your feedback, your feedback, Parks and Rec Commission feedback, the Economic Development Commission. Seemed like there was one more that I'm forgetting, but we would like to know, what do you think about? It could be them. Yeah, anyway, we're reaching out to some committees this month to look at like where potential locations, but kind of phase one would be like the directional signage and even potentially an entrance sign over on the south end of the city coming, like if you're coming from 211 or coming from up the river, because the city does own that parking lot over there. I believe the grassy area might be in ODOT's right away, so it could be a little tricky to get that done. But so I guess my questions to you are, what do you think of the initial design? They have some ideas at the back of the packet for like how we could incorporate kind of a thematic element. And then there's also different types of signage that rules. Those are more simple signs, but like on page 3, I guess it is, they've got the potential directional signage, different ways different people have done that, or trail signage. They get a little smaller on a post in the ground. So I'm just here to kind of get your feedback if you've had a chance to take a look
What
at that.
would the rules signage have on it? What does?
Those might be more like at a park, a place like
Oh,
no
okay.
smoking in the park,
Okay,
keep your dogs
okay.
on leashes.
Okay.
But to have everything be like a good package, so you're not seeing, right? Because you can buy rules signage when you buy the playground or from just general parks companies or Uline or something like that. So if we want to do it, so all of our signs kind of, you feel like you're in Estacada still because we have
I
theme.
see one at City Hall. I'd like to see one at Harvest Market Square,
Okay,
right
great
downtown,
suggestion.
And
Yeah, thank
then-
you.
or somewhere right downtown where people are going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely a directional
Yeah.
sign
I
there.
Yeah.
agree. Direction, Harvest, one of the corners of by the Harvest Square.
Okay.
Are these purely city services and stuff, or would there be any like Chamber of Commerce, like, I could see like somewhere around trail or the park having something advertising the different restaurants or whatever that they could pay to put their plaque on. Is there any?
That's a good, we could talk about that. We're thinking about that for the industrial campus, putting a sign up there, like we could just say Estacada Industrial Campus like it does now. Or if they wanted to, the businesses out there want to contribute and partner on that, it could be potentially a larger sign where they can put their names on it. But for like the restaurants, because there's quite a lot of them, hadn't thought about putting individuals, but we could put like downtown restaurants or I don't know, how would you do that if we don't put their names?
Barcode or something that maybe can refer them to the chamber site or some kind of a one-shot deal where they can go here and pull up a directory or something.
Maybe.
Oh, a directory, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was thinking like at Timber Park, they have those big disc throwing. They get so many people that don't even come another 2
know.
miles down here. If they seen a sign saying, hey, this is a Lou's Hamburger or something that,
Right, right.
you know, and you go down I-5, the state does it. They have a sign that says, hey, Burger King, Shell, next exit, you know, something
gotta
similar.
pay
Maybe,
for those.
maybe in strategic places around, put, like what they have at the Clackamas Town Center when you walk in, just a
Information.
map that shows
Yeah.
with letters on it, and then you go to the corresponding letter and it shows you where that business is, or you go to you search for your business and then it gives you a letter or a number and you go up to the map and you find where it is. So,
Yeah, that's a good idea as
Yeah.
far as color code.
Yeah.
Like all restaurants could be
Yeah.
pink and other
We
things.
have a map like that. If we posted it online, maybe then we could do the code and people could
Mhm.
take a look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but-
just think some way of tapping that timber park, because it is so
Timber
close. I know you
yeah.
probably can't do it at the park because that's PGE, but maybe
But
somewhere
right as soon as
approaching
you
it.
come out of the
Yeah.
park, that's.
Like, hey,
yeah.
I'm hungry, come to pizza or whatever.
Yeah, right
But-
there at the wastewater dump, there's a kiosk.
Yes,
And the chamber wants to get that back in working order again with information.
that'd be
So
great
that would
too.
be a good place to have something like that.
And maybe we could share the, I don't know, what do you call it? The artwork or whatever, that would be like a similar,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you know, you might want to have the chamber instead of City of Estacada, but
Yeah.
like share the themes so that it'd be a common
Yeah.
look potentially. But yeah, that would be great if the
Yeah.
chamber got that going again.
And just kind of FYI that we signed the lease, the chamber did, for having a visitor information center down at Timber childcare. So we'll be moving in this week sometime.
Congratulations. Yeah, that's fantastic. So having a directory to the, or maybe a sign, well, probably not, I don't know how we do that, but like to the visitor center or from the visitor center coming out to other places too. Okay.
I would just keep in mind or find ways that this can be maybe digitally done or easily changed just for
Mm-hmm.
when businesses
Yeah.
come and go. Cause having a big, beautiful sign, like a directory at a mall is great, but
Right, but to be able to have it,
if a business
change.
goes out of
This-
business or whatever, just something to think in mind or keep in mind.
Could it, I don't know how this works, but could they have something that would be like the sign out here, maybe just a couple in key locations where it rotates or something?
Digital.
But that takes power, right?
it rotates.
But if there was changes to it, it'd be
the
easy,
Electronic reader board.
like a digital.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not every one of them, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
key ones.
Okay. Okay, any other locations or?
Um,
Do we have anything by the memorial?
Veterans Memorial, okay.
if we can get buy-in from the school district, we get a lot of visitors to a lot of
Yeah.
visitors to town for sporting events.
Yeah.
Just something to kind of keep them in town when they come to the sporting events rather than
Mhm.
just coming to watch the sports and then leave. But we get, I mean, all summer long, we have football, baseball, and then the fall and spring, we have basketball, all levels, volleyball, track and field, but we get a lot of visitors to Estacada for sporting events. It'd be nice to have, something there to kind of direct them to downtown or to other businesses around to keep them, for a short amount of time.
Yeah, not only the high school, if there's some way to put one there, but also at the baseball fields.
Yeah.
Because during the summer, you have all of the adults that participate, not
Yeah.
only the kiddos, but the adults too, that do their little tournaments on the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
that way you could,
I know that
like, hey, come downtown.
we'd have to get, we'd have to work with the school district on that, but I just, there's so many people that come to Estacada for sporting events that it'd be nice to, direct them into downtown rather than just hitting the schools and then leaving town.
Mhm. Okay.
Would there be something or some way, some form like when you're entering the football stadium? Maybe something there that they would be willing to
Right,
cooperate
So-
with us?
Okay.
It's all concrete right
Yeah.
now.
But somewhere, what I'm hearing is somehow capture or provide some informational signage to the folks that are visiting the school campuses where the
Athletic
sports, the athletic fields are. Okay.
Maybe something to the effect like, thank you for visiting Estacada School District or, yeah, I mean, because they are visiting the school
Mhm.
because of a sporting event, but then something underneath that to say, hey, don't forget to visit downtown for our restaurants and
Or scan.
something like that.
Scan this
Mhm.
QR code to see what else Estacada has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. This is bringing up another idea that maybe the DEC might want to do it at some point is to, maybe there's brochures that could be there that people could just pick up if they're, because some, Estacada is pretty small when your kids have come here for a long time. Because we go back and forth, people might be familiar, but there might be new folks that are coming and could grab a brochure or could do some kind of a sign like that where it's a QR code that could be updated with the map. So that might be
Melanie, that
good.
downtown map that we have that has the
Mhm.
number with all the restaurants, there is a brochure that has the DEC's information, some information about Estacada, and then has the DEC's events on it. So
Okay.
that
Oh,
could be
that's cool.
printed out and just put on that sign, and they wouldn't have to create something.
Right,
It's
okay.
just updating it and reprinting the brochures.
Okay.
Yeah, and last month we talked about doing rack cards.
I did not follow up on that yet.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay, but that's what
Yeah,
we discussed, and
yeah.
we talked about putting those in businesses, but then also
Yeah.
putting in like the optometrist, the dental office, all of those places as well.
Yeah.
But maybe there would be somewhere, kind of like when you put a house for sale and you have the little flyers that go in there. Maybe there's something there that we could affix on the concrete where we could put those rack cards in there as well.
Okay, that could be some collaboration with the school to do that. Yeah, good idea.
Heather
Um,
has her hand raised.
Oh, sorry, Heather, go ahead.
Good. No, I was just waiting for discussion. I was thinking maybe not at the actual stadium because I can't figure out a spot that would be like real apparent, but what if we did it close to the parking area and then had like, on a real estate sign, how they have the little flyer box?
mhm.
What if we could have a flyer box with those brochures or something like that in there?
That could be cool.
Yeah.
We could go the brochure way, or we could go, like you said, a digital way too, so it could be updated. So what I'm hearing is like someplace downtown other than just at City Hall, like Harvest Market or in the square, over at the Veterans Memorial possibly, Timber Park, so that visitors there, and the chamber's gonna, be working on that kiosk, but also, to capture Timber Park folks, the visitor center that's going to be down at the Old Forest Service building. Possibly sharing the theme or the appearance, the style with other partner organizations, so that things like posters could be similar if you wanted to do that for the kiosk. And then somehow in the school area, something that would be at the schools. Maybe it could even be one of those post signs with the QR code on it. But we could put it in multiple locations with the athletic fields.
They have the snack shop right there by the ball fields, if you have
Oh, right.
a box or something right close to that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I know the chamber wants to work with MacIver Park to get some kind of a box or information spot up there.
Oh, okay, that would be great. Yeah.
The baseball and I know the softball field soon, but not yet, have a new announcer booths as well. Maybe getting a flyer or some kind of banner on there would work well. And then that serves like the track community and the baseball community.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is my phone on? Okay. I like the QR code because nothing is more frustrating is when you walk up to that thing to grab a flyer and there are no flyers. So it just looks a little tacky. So just keeping it nice and clean with the QR code, I think it keeps it simple.
Okay. And then I know on our map, it looks a little empty towards the north end of town. There's not really a great connection yet, I don't think, for bikers or walkers, but that's something that's on my mind, like how to connect the north area of town or the east area of town to downtown. Hopefully there will be eventually better connections where it's easier to bike from that area. But anyway, I think we captured the parks, the library, we get downtown, the trails that we do have. Do you like this kind of the style? Is that okay?
I like them both.
Up in the, and I'm not sure if it's complete yet or if it's part of the city plan, but in the, Holt Homes development up off of Deuce Road, don't they have a trail system going in?
They do have a trail system going in. It's kind of a loop trail. I think it doesn't really go anywhere.
Oh, okay.
As far as coming towards town.
Yeah, it's just within the neighborhood.
No
Mhm.
paths that will connect to other communities. No.
I'll have to check into that because maybe it could connect through the backside over to like Cascadia Ridge up on Gardner. There's a little park up there. So there could be kind of a looped, and then that gets you down the hill towards downtown.
We might do that.
So that's an idea. Yeah, I'll make a little note of that. The Faraday Park.
I don't know if this is city property or not, but up by the little park, at the top of, I don't know what the neighborhood is.
By the track?
No, so like if you're on the track and you go up the hill and there's like a little park with a dragonfly, that's my best way of explaining it.
Oh, that's on Gardner.
On
Yeah.
Gardner, okay, there's a gravel path that goes down and it's like a hiking path. And it looks like it goes through somebody's Christmas tree farm, but I'm pretty sure it's a public trail and it connects to Coupland. I don't know if we could develop that to be more something that brings people more downtown or not, but
That's a good suggestion, and that might be a good future project because it does connect. It is not all, it's not all public. I think public uses it, but it's not all public yet. But maybe that at some point that could be, because that's a nice kind of a shortcut to get down, a more direct route to downtown. Yeah.
What streets are those?
It's up at Gardner Park, and at the end of Gardner that'd be I don't know what direction that is, but it's where the road ends on Gardner on the south side, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a trail that takes off from there and kind of goes down the hill. There's like a water line easement that goes through there, but it's not a public access easement. And so maybe someday it could be a public access easement. And then it connects to either the back of Hillway or all the way to Copeland Road. I guess I haven't walked all that, but that's kind of where we're talking. That's a good idea though for future.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But I think it does cross private property currently.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Any other thoughts that you would like me to take back about?
do we have
the
a
signage
end
plan?
date to try and get these up?
Phase one, which would be kind of are they listed as phase one? But we kind of have the rules signage as phase two, kiosk signage as phase 2 or 3. That's 2, I guess. I would hope by the end of this year to get like the initial signs up. I would hope by the end of the summer, but sometimes it takes longer. So we'll be putting some budget into the coming budget that starts July 1 for manufacture and installation of the signs. So I would think by the end of the year. And I do also want to say that the signs that are currently up, there used to be one out here. It's not here anymore. So it's on the other side by the dentist office and then further down by Subway. Those have been fantastic and they've lasted really well. And so that was a great project. If anybody listening or listens to this later was involved in that project, it had a lot of forethought and they've been nice. It's just time for an update and expansion, I think.
I don't know if it's something that's feasible, but also putting the signage like up at like I said, strategic spots, like if Promontory would allow us to put a sign there.
Okay.
The entrance to McIver Park, Metzler Park, if they would allow those spots, because they also get a lot of visitors that don't necessarily stop in town. And we want them to come to town.
Yeah, those are great ideas.
Okay,
Science is
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you weighing in and we'll get this moving forward.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. Next item is finalizing our strategic plan.
Sherry Stewart sent the edits that you requested. So they should all be in there, just looking to have you all review it and then do a motion to approve it as final.
Did anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept the strategic plan as developed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? All right. Adopted as is. Lovely. All right, 4th of July.
It's coming up, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Everything's moving ahead. I did talk to Brooke at Reliance about being Grand Marshal. She's kind of hesitating because last year her mom Brenda was honorary and she doesn't want to feel like they're taking it over, but I have another source. Matt Day is really, from what I understand, is happy with that selection. So I'm going to try and get an answer from Brooke. I just went at it from the fact that, you know, you're turning 120. Just like the city, and it just would be appropriate for all that you guys have done for the community to have you be Grand Marshal. So hopefully she'll give me an answer by the end of the week. Toilets have been ordered. We have some more barricades that Don purchased from his funds, but I think I want some more, so I'm gonna kind of buckle down and get a really good count, so maybe we can order a few more.
Are those, do those include the ones that I requested last month?
The ones that what?
Do those include the ones that I requested last month?
Yes,
Okay,
I think, pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a thought on the barricades. We've got those nice posts that I noticed somebody smashed into downtown, one of the corner ones, and they had to
Oh, yeah.
replace them on the. But if we're getting expensive barricades at the end of this, every event, we've got to like secure those. They're gonna disappear. Some of them are
Yeah.
gonna wander around, but if we got chains that we could just decorative, like even plastic chain, that we could connect to those posts to our barricades, and then when we want to separate them, we could just put them back to the posts. But that would help stop traffic. I mean, if you had plastic chain going from the corner to our barricade in the middle of the street,
You don't want to hinder foot traffic though.
yeah, you'd have to leave openings for sure for that on it. But
Well, Don said he has rooms to store the barricades.
Okay, good.
So,
that's where we need more volunteers. I mean, if we literally could have volunteers wherever we put barricades,
Yeah.
that would be ideal, but that just is not, that's just not reasonable. I mean, it's not realistic.
well, Hannah, if you can make some kind of a blurb, you know, we have people along the parade route. We just need people that they go to the same spot every year. If you're at that intersection, let us know and you can be the one in charge of, you know, blocking it and unblocking it. I don't know how to get the word out on that. Because every time I've had to drive along the parade route and ask people to do that, they've been more than happy to. But we just want to have names and people identified that will be there and will do that day.
Anything else?
No.
All righty.
Thank you.
All right, Heather, uncorked.
There we go.
Heather.
Sorry, I was muted. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna let you know that the payment part of the application is ready to go, so we can post the application now.
That was gonna be my first question.
I do want to know if you want a copy of all of the applications sent to you. Right now I have it set up so Connie gets a copy when someone submits an application,
Heather.
she gets the full application.
Yeah.
And then it'll also go to me. Do you want that as well for Uncorked so you can manage, you know, how many vendors
Sure.
you can fit?
Yeah, Heather should get those for Uncorked.
Okay.
I would like to, Evelyn, I'll email you too, but change my email address for communication.
Okay.
Once the application's opened up, I kind of feel like we're well on our way. Got the OLCC permit I need to turn into the city for their signature. I'm using the same map for the Uncorked as we did for Oktoberfest, Connie. And I need to get a couple of extra toilets done and submit the road closure application with the city.
Do you have a limit on those applications as far as the number that you're going to take?
Feel like we talked about it and it was 28.
Okay,
I'd go 26. 'Cause then you
26?
usually have some people that will last minute and they'll give you a little bit of leeway.
Okay. Sounds great.
2 doesn't seem like it makes a lot of difference, but
Hey, I was one of those two last year, remember?
yeah.
Lynn took over and did the food again, which is awesome, and she's got that completely handled. So
excellent.
yeah, we can start kind of pushing the marketing for people to register, and I have a list that I'll send out to now that it's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, can you get some information over to Hannah so that she can get that on the social media?
She's been working away on that.
Oh, she asked earlier that she needed some more information.
What kind of information, Hannah?
You're muted, Hannah.
Just anything. Just want to promote it. So, we got the logo down right.
Yep.
We're gonna go with that, and then we have the date, obviously, and the time frame is it same as Oktoberfest, 7 to 11. I'm sorry, 11 to
Other
7.
way, but yep.
Okay. And then and then the applications are live. We're gonna start that.
They're not live yet, but I think that Evelyn said it's ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I can post
soon.
it today and send it to you, Hannah.
So Heather, I've got a contact for the toilets. Do you want me to order a couple of toilets?
That would be excellent.
I just need to have you let me know where you want them.
I kind of think did it work out well for Oktoberfest where they were?
Yeah, it did. I might change the one that was down by trails, even though we had a sign, people didn't realize it was around the corner. Might change that just a little bit. And then do you want a dumpster also?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so we got the time, we got applications. So once they get just a text or confirm about the applications, we can write about it. And those will be found on the city website, but also we can probably post a link to in local Facebook groups for people to sign up. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then the time. And then is there any other specific details, Heather or anybody else, just about the event? Do we know if there's going to be live music? Is it going to be music from the speakers? Do we have kids activities? Is it just food and drink? Do we have local vendors? Is it just the restaurants on Broadway? Do you have any details like that?
So for the music, hoping to use the quartet guys that were at the Christmas tree lighting, and then hopefully he'll set up his speakers and do that. As for vendors, yeah, I think it'd be nice to have kids stuff, but I don't know about reaching out to them directly. I'm reaching out mostly to wine vendors myself, naturally.
Yep.
So if somebody else wants to take that on to get the face painter in, or was there a coloring booth or something like that?
We've had, I mean, Oktoberfest is kind of full of it, but it's more of a theme for Oktoberfest.
Right.
They have, flower crowns and stuff like that. That is particular to the theme, but I think the face painting is good. Yeah, and we've had like pumpkin painting, but that's a whole other section. And it's a big budget too, if we're gonna have specific like kid.
The one other question that I had that kind of popped up as I was thinking about the road closure, what do I need to get a hold of Thriftway and ask them to use that area?
To use Harvest Square?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
okay.
I can send you a sample letter of what we've sent them before for other requests.
Perfect.
Okay.
So that's kind of all I needed, is just kind of a specific or a generic theme of what's gonna be there. Because I don't want to post things that aren't gonna happen.
Honey, I might circle back on trying to meet with you and Sherry too on the tokens and wine glasses and how that system worked.
I don't know if you want to take the time here, if we could get together with you and talk about some options with that.
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really have time after this. I've got to get back to work.
Yeah. So Heather, send me and or Sherry a time when it'd be good to get together for about half an hour.
Yeah, Sherry, remind me, you said you have best days. I can just email too after this. It's fine.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that, you'll have your correct email when you send us.
I'll send it from the email, yeah, that I communicate out of
Okay.
post. Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Are you keeping track of your budget?
I haven't started even having to pay for anything yet, but yes, I can do a spreadsheet. I think
Okay.
I have Connie's budget from the time before as well. I have a folder with that in there.
Okay, because I think we allotted you 3,700.
Yep.
Okay. Maybe since it's April 7th and I don't want to sound like I'm putting a damper on anything, but maybe from a kid's perspective, you're going to have somebody man that. And since we don't really have anything, I mean, maybe we want to do something for that for next year? Unless you have somebody in mind to man that?
The
Like a
only
kid.
option- The only
Okay, go ahead.
option might be, I know the Girl Scouts have volunteered in the past to staff a kids booth. I can reach out to them and see if they're interested.
The application is also the same as Oktoberfest, so if there's any nonprofits that want to sign up, if they offer a free kids activity, they get their fee waived, so we could,
But the
Just
face
make-
painter's not going to be free.
Yeah,
no.
she's not.
I mean, we'd have to pay for that, and that's pretty expensive. It's my understanding.
250 for what, 2 hours?
I mean, it's just a suggestion because you've got a lot on your plate. And
I
we
feel
are-
like
we've
I'm
got-
fine your way on that one.
Okay, well, you're the contact on this, so this is your baby, so you do what you're comfortable with. We're
I'll
just
ask the
here to
girls.
support you. Okay.
Yeah, I'll ask the girls too on that and see what they
Okay,
think.
and then just be thinking about if there's anything that you need from us individually on day of, if you want any help from us and you want to solicit our assistance. So be thinking about that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Go
I'd
ahead.
just like to say, go into this with the mindset that, take what's happened, the uncorked events that have happened in the past completely out of the picture. Go into this with the mindset. This is the first year for everybody on this committee, except for maybe Julie Cooper and Connie, for as far as uncorked goes. So just go into it with, this is the first year for this event. We go into it, we do what we do, and then looking forward to next year, just like with Oktoberfest, we looked at ways to improve the event.
Yep.
Or you guys looked at ways to improve the event moving forward, and then just make it a better and better event every year. But do the best you can this year, and then just work on ways to improve it moving forward.
Yep. Yep.
Thanks, Jerry. All right, anything else to add? Any other questions?
Can I just confirm, you said nonprofits with kid activities get fee waived or any,
Yes,
You
any
said that.
nonprofits that offer a free kids activity can have their fee waived.
Yeah.
And
Or
it'll
you-
be on the website and on the application, so they
Gotcha.
can see that.
I think that's something worthy of like posting separately about. Might grab some people's attention. And then Connie, real fast, can we rewind to the 4th of July? You said posting about people who are sitting at certain, where were they, like at intersections or what was
Every
it?
year we have people that year after year sit in the same location along the parade route.
Right,
And if they do that, if they could contact me and just, while they're just sitting there, monitor that intersection, put up the barricades and take them down. So I don't know how to word that.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. See what I come up with, but it was the intersections that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Help moving
Yeah.
barricades.
Are you an intersection person?
Yeah.
Like you have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
person that does a T-box?
Totally.
Adopt an intersection. That's what we
Yeah.
need to do.
That's a really good, that's a good one.
Adopt an intersection.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, thanks for confirming that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's move on to annual plan and budget reminder. We need to present that, or I need to present that to the council on April 28th.
Yes,
we
and
have
I
that
just
all
included
changed
the
and
final
approved?
versions in your packet.
Yep.
So that's
I'm
just a
good to go.
reminder.
Yep. All righty, and Oregon Main Street quarterly report, we need to submit our volunteer hours
Yes.
for January, February, March.
Yep, and I need them by Thursday this week.
All right. All right, so you heard the lady. Thursday, everybody, make sure you email her.
By what I missed that, was it volunteer hours?
Yeah, January, February, March by Thursday.
Gotcha.
Do we include the meeting times in that?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, and Jerry? Commissioner comments?
So I know I've told you guys this before, but I'm making a hard push this year. I haven't had a lot of success since we lost the DEIC, who I was going to task with or try to task with coming up with a way to retain to get and retain volunteers. So I'm going to be pushing to get to form this community engagement committee, so that we can, because there's nothing more that bothers me than you guys putting on these amazing events and not being able to be involved in the events because you have to man a volunteer spot. These events are going to be they're going to be better if you don't have to man a barricade. You know, the event's going to be better if you can be involved in the event rather than having to be your own volunteers. So I know, you know, like I said, I've said this a lot, but you know, when my kids were growing up, we had volunteers coming out coming from everywhere. Our population has doubled, more than doubled, and we have less volunteers, that's a sad thing to me. I really want to get the community more engaged, you know, with what the city puts on, with all the events that go on in Estacada. And I just want to, I don't have any ideas on how to, you know, how to get volunteers to come back or get volunteers to start up and then retain those volunteers moving forward. So I really want to get this community engagement committee formed and, you know, task them with volunteerism, getting volunteers, retaining volunteers. It used to be, you know, you get a sports team involved and their parents got involved, and you know, I mean, that's how we, you know, my wife and we volunteered for just about everything when our kids were growing up. And I just want to get back to that point where we have a good group of volunteers that volunteer for, you know, that come out for all the events that, you know, and just getting to that point. I don't know how to get there, but I want to get, you know, minds together, voices out and try to figure this out on how to, how to get back to the point where we have a multitude of volunteers. Because, summer celebration never, up until the end, they never had a problem getting volunteers. The
You had
fourth
a lot of young people too that
Yeah.
volunteered for that.
Timber Festival never had a problem getting volunteers. I just want to get back to that point in the city,
Yeah.
to where we, where you guys don't have to, you guys can actually be out
I've
there.
never seen the parade.
Yeah. And I want to get back to that point where you guys aren't
Yeah.
putting so much of your time and effort into the small stuff on these events where you can actually be there, observe, and figure out ways to improve. Be there when a situation arises. Where you're not 7 blocks up the street and 2 blocks over because you're manning a barricade. I just want to get back to that point where our committees and commissions can plan these events. We have volunteers to man the events, and y'all can just do your thing and make the event as good as it can be. So
Thank you.
that's what I got.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Jerry.
Was it you, Evelyn? Somebody brought up some websites, serve.com and volunteermatch.com. Does anybody remember talking about that last meeting?
I think that was me and I got
But you-
that from the
Oregon
conference I went
yeah.
to, or that
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
call
Okay.
I was on.
Yeah.
Okay. Not sure how we can utilize that or look into it.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's something that we would sign up for or if there's a
Yeah.
fee.
I
Uh,
haven't had a chance to look into those, but I that's on my list.
And again, I don't want to put this on any of the committees because like you guys stated earlier, you're already stretched thin. I don't want to put this on any of the other committees that are actively, already doing all of these events and all the other stuff that they do. I want to form a completely separate committee to, that can engage the community, like we wanted with the DEIC, but maybe without the negatives that come along with it. So.
Well, we appreciate the help. All right. Are there any other agenda items for next month?
I just have a real quick question under
Okay.
comments. Back in March, Evelyn, we submitted those grant agreements for what the Broadway, Paris's Place and the other, are those moving forward?
They've been reviewed, but we haven't heard any other feedback or information on it.
Okay.
I think they announced who wins the grant in May.
Okay.
It
Thank
might
you.
be May 15th. I
Okay.
could be wrong on the date, but I know it's in May. So
Okay. Thank you.
yeah.
That's all I have.
Does anybody have anything for next month's agenda? Do we know where we stand with our tree logo?
The Christmas USA or
Yeah.
so I think you all said use it for last year, and then this year you'd use the one that you picked.
Okay.
So for the tree lighting this year, you can start using
Okay.
yours.
All right. And do we need to do anything with that branding company?
Not that I know of, but I can check with Melanie and see.
Okay.
I know they attended one of your meetings not too long ago
Right.
about helping advertise
Yep.
your stuff, so we could see if they want to stop in again at the next
Okay.
meeting and
Is there
See
any
if-
update on the apartments that were proposed down over there?
They're still so their application has been approved. But there's still some
Okay.
like fire code stuff that they have to clear up, and we've been trying to get as much information, council, we want to know too. But they're still a ways out from
Okay.
building. We might actually get our waterfront project done before they get there. Yes.
All righty.
I have a quick question about the Noble Consulting, the people who came in and did the logo and they've done some marketing. And I know they've told us that they're willing to help us market these things. So Evelyn, do you know how we partner with them to help us or help
Yeah,
market these out? Is it just a simple email? Because I know I have their information. Is it a simple like, hey, can you share this on your page? Does it have to go through you? Is it how
I
expensive is it?
I'm not sure about that. I know the city has a contract with
Yeah.
them, so I think as long as it's within that budget, it's fine. I'll ask Melanie though and see if there is any cost additional to having them advertise DEC's events. But I know they came in and they wanted to help out in any way they can, so I don't foresee any issues if we do have something to promote, just sending it to them and then copying staff on it.
Yeah, okay,
But I will double check with Melanie and then let you know.
cool.
Appreciate that. Alrighty then. If there isn't anything else, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 10:16. Everybody have a lovely week.
Great, thank you.
Thank you all. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Colors in.